Yo, yo, yo. Okay, mic's working good. Alright. It's my dog drinking water. So I am just, I ran some errands. It's been really weird when I'm gone, when I'm here, even when I'm here. Correct grammar. Fuck it, whatever. Uh, so this plan of what I do when I leave, um, what's happening when I leave, and even what happens when I'm here. Even if it's innocent shit, even if whatever my dogs are responding to are just people minding their own business, and they're just something is in their something is within earshot, something is within their eyesight. They are reacting to something, and if it's something fishy, then the whole fucking block needs to be aware of this. I've dealt with some weird shit in this neighborhood. I've had pets caged up by neighbors. I've had threats of violence against neighbors. God forbid if I stand up for myself. God forbid that. But, you want to put pressure on this N word wannabe. Um, I get it. I get it. I'm an easy target. I'm an easy target. But who's the next easy target? You know, that's my logic in this. Is who's the next easy target? Because got a frail lady in a wheelchair. You got me, who people can be like, oh, he's crazy, he's this, he's that. Um, who's the next easy target is my point. And that's why I address certain things, because I'm used to being the underdog. I'm not that big of a dude. Yuck. Ugh, shit, that tastes like shit. Yeah. Hang on a second. Come on up here. I have to pick you up. Okay. There you go. Excuse me. Excuse me. So who's the next easy target? Is my logic with a lot of this shit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being paranoid. But I would like to explain why I am a bit paranoid. When I try to get help from police, because I am a law abiding citizen, and it seems like they just don't give a fuck. The responding officers, I'm not going to say everyone I've dealt with doesn't give a fuck, but the people in charge, they seem to not give a fuck about me specifically. If I make a report, kind of in my mom's name almost, my mom doesn't want to deal with that shit. But there's certain things going on, or certain things that have happened where you can't just, if she won't do it, I'll do it. So I've done that in the past and had serial numbers to items like You know, can't deny that. Yeah, there's police reports. The cop that's down here, the officers, whatever. I'm not trying to be offensive, especially for people that were good. The officer I talked to about that situation, he was a good officer. I haven't seen him around. I wonder what happened to him. Maybe he was too good of an officer to work for this shithole of a fucking town. Maybe that's what it was. You know, they don't want people like him. They don't want people that care. Or maybe I just haven't seen him because I don't. I try not to deal with the cops too much. Whether it's like getting in trouble or even if I need help with, that's why this situation about the death threats, threats are a vague term. Yeah, no one said like we're going to come kill you. It's just people that have worked on this house that are aware of gas leaks in the past say they want my house to explode and they want to see me and my family's body parts splatter in the sky. Crazy shit. Um, but yet I'm the maniac. I'm the maniac because I make some videos. So it's just kind of past like the point of like I know they're not going to do anything for me. I know that. Will they do some shit for my mom? You know, if it comes to the point where she files reports, I hope that they would help her out because if they don't, I happen to contact the ACLU or someone like that, it's going to be a real bad look. It's going to be a real bad look. So these titles to these videos, they're very misleading because usually I'm not discussing what I'm talking about from the title of my video. It's not 3 a.m. It's not 3 p.m. It's 2:30 p.m. But this plan of when I leave and my mom kind of like is doing what she's doing to make sure the dogs don't get distracted and bust out. That seems to be working. If someone would just be like, if someone's saying some shit like, why don't you use like the fucking deadbolt things and this and that and the other? Well, okay, that's good and well for when both of us are gone. Yeah, may do that, but what happens if my mom really needs some help and I'm gone and it's difficult for people to come in here and help her? Seconds and minutes can be vital. So that's the situation with that. That's why it's not just so easy to, oh, just lock up your house like Fort Knox. Well, in her situation, I kind of need it to be halfway accessible for people to come in here and help her if needed. I hope sometimes, not saying I'm the best at this, but I hope sometimes people take into account like they think they think about these things before it becomes a problem. I've had EMS down here before with for that. So I know from experience, unfortunately, but I was real frantic about making this run. Uh, my nerves are kind of halfway calm about it. But if there are people that may see this locally, my logic is if some of my suspicions are correct and we're just an easy target, you know, oh, their grass needs mowed. Let's call the mayor and put pressure on them and get city officials down at their house. Oh, they have a bonfire going. Let's call the fire marshal. Put pressure on them. Okay, well, they're just basically not doing anything about that. You know, not only that, going a step further, have some hot dogs. Not only that, they're giving them advice and how they can still have a bonfire and abide by the law or city ordinances or whatever the fuck. So, oh, we know there's disagreements with him and the dog warden. Let's put pressure on the dogs. And, you know, maybe it's all coincidence. But if I'm an easy target and they're just doing this because I'm an easy target, who's the next? Who's the next easy target? Maybe I'm wrong about. I will put this out there, but at the same time, no one can deny what is documented with the court. No one can deny my experiences. I might be wrong a little bit about why my dogs seem to be reacting and busting out basically the same time every fucking day. Not that they, luckily, knock on wood, they haven't busted out today. But the days they do bust out, it seems to be around the same time. So that's, it may just be some innocent things. Maybe there's no foul play. I don't know. But if there is foul play and people doing this just because I'm an easy target, who's the next easy target? You know, um, I'll let it be with this. Hang on, let me get a cigarette. Get a cigarette. Ah, fuck! I was gonna get another cyclone. Those are heavy duty, man. Those are good. Um, so if I am an easy target, yes, I hate to think like this. I really do, because like it, no one should be this much of a nervous wreck in their home. And if the court and the police department, the department, I'm not saying there hasn't ever been officers that looked at the situation. Say what you will about me, say what you will about them, but I don't threaten violence. It's one thing you shouldn't do. If you want to have a peaceful neighborhood, you don't threaten violence. You can say, like, oh, he listens to this weird music. Well, if it was just like, who listens to the weirdest music? I know people that listen to weirder music than me. I'm related to them. It's, I wouldn't have known of G.G. Allen if it wasn't for my piece of shit fucking brother. So like, oh, you wanna you wanna label me like this, but you're gonna fucking align with my brother. You're gonna communicate with my brother, knowing what he's done, how he walked out, how he just turned his back on everything, just because he got a fucking big head about some shit and thought like he had more money and what he did. So hey, you can live with that. You can live with that. I'm living with it. I'm kind of almost proud of how like I stood up against this shit. I might listen to some music that some people just don't get. Kind of like scary movies on wax. Yeah, I'll admit that. But again, you know, these same people bitching about me and my N-word jungle bunny music shit. Same people would bitch about that if their whole problem is, oh, he listens to weird music. These same people communicate, deal with my brother, who idolizes G.G. Allen. Okay, well, if it's just for the music and shit, even though you can be arrested for singing some of G.G. Allen's shit, like you can literally get arrested for just reciting the title of some of his songs. You can literally be arrested because the First Amendment only stretches so far. And I'm not even going to say some of the titles of some of his songs because I don't want someone to paraphrase. I don't want someone to cut. They hear me say a title of the song and they think I'm actually saying that shit and contact authority. Like, you really have to worry about this shit, especially, especially since like we're basically all recorded now. If you're not aware of who G.G. Allen is, just look him up. He's this sick fucker that would eat his own poop, puke that up, and then lick up the pile of puke and poop. He would bring girls on stage and sexually assault them. Uh, he would pick out the weakest person in the crowd and assault them. Oh, he was just a tortured soul that wanted to express like what society. No, he was just a sick fuck that ate poop. That's it. My entertainment from Gigi Allen, not the Gigi Allen that's in some of these chats that I sometimes am in. The real, like the one that died in 1993. The one that was on Donahue. The one that was on Sally Jesse Raphael. The one that was on was he on Springer? I can't remember. But various talk shows, those 80s, 90s talk shows. I had a friend on Donahue. He got his face ripped off by a pit bull, his stepdad's pit bull or his dad's pit bull, Brad Williams. So anyway, if all this shit with the dogs and the footprints on the handicap ramp, if all that shit's coincidence, I truly apologize for even thinking that someone would be disgusting enough to fuck with someone's mental well being because that's basically what it's doing. It's making me too paranoid for my own good. It's making me turn against people. actually genuinely care. But when you get various death threats from people, some of which are recorded, when you've went through this violent, like not only people threatening violence, but meth heads flipping the fuck out, and I've dealt with this shit. I don't feel safe here. I think it is, you know, I don't necessarily know, or even if it's a good idea to go to like a town hall meeting and express my concerns. You know, I might get ostracized. Is that the right word? Sometimes I say multi-syllable words just to sound smart, and I don't even know what the fuck they mean. Straight up. Like I think I'm making sense, but then I might like what's that word even mean? I'm gonna look it up right now. Where'd my phone go? Bop, bop. Ostracized. Ostricized. How you spell it? I think it's the right word. I might be wrong. I'm not always right. Self admittedly, I'm not always right. Let that be known. I'm not so delusional to the point that I think just because I say something, just because I take the time and energy to record me saying this shit, I know I'm not right. Just because I say something doesn't mean I'm right. But some of this shit I do ain't even for me. Ostracism, no definitions found for this word. Ostracism. I must have spelled it wrong. Ostracism, exclusion from a society or group. I guess that was right. Temporary banishment from a city by popular vote. So if I go to this town hall meeting and I express my concerns, some of these like elite people in my community, it's almost like a monarchy. I'm in such a small town that they really can do this shit. They really can affect your day to day life. They really do put a blind eye to their buddies. I've been a victim of this theft, assault, trespassing. So, someone like me that wants to be a law abiding citizen, someone that wants to help people, say what you will. Yeah, I listen to some gutter shit. I listen to some gutter shit. But I'm viewing it as one, it's entertainment. Number two, the shit I listen to, for the most part, it's not glorifying stuff. It's putting a mirror up to society. Sometimes I do listen to music. It does glorify things like, bitch, shake that ass. Show me what you're working with, you know? But that in itself is a mirror to society because how are we all here? We're all here from fucking. So everyone on the planet is a product of two people fucking. That's just how it is. That's undeniable. I guess the more, um, even if it's a in vitro fertilization or whatever it is. Okay, well, I guess not all of us are here from two people fucking, but someone got their nut off. You know, someone had to someone had to tug their fucking tube steak. So that's just part of society that we're never gonna get rid of because if we get rid of it, then people don't exist, animals don't exist, plants don't exist. So yeah, I get it, man. I get it. I listen to some gutter shit, self-admittedly. I've limited like when I play that stuff. I limited like how loud I play it. Some of the shit, like when my dad passed away, my mom like actually likes some of the shit I listen to. It's kind of like, well, I mean, I lived for fucking 20 years next to these people and just like these bashes, like bashes that I'm almost a little bit jealous of that I never got invited to. My brother got invited to him. My cousins got invited to him. My aunt and uncles got invited to him. When this telescope was stolen from this house, they didn't even fucking have the nerve enough to even face my mom because I think I know they what they were doing. They were trying to fuck with her head and be like, "Oh, just let us borrow it. We're gonna go to the beach, and I want to show." I'm not gonna say the kid's name, but we're gonna show the stars. Hey, well, that's fine and dandy. When are you returning this property? If you wanted it that bad, then why couldn't you have said something about it when we were all in the fucking same room with a member of the district attorney? Like, but people want to get mad at me because I react a certain way, and I'm trying to not only not really trying to expose it because who the fuck's gonna watch this shit? This is more so like, hey, I already talked about this shit. Here you go. So, like, my point is, nobody can let people win like this. It's not right. It's petty high school shit. Like, who's popular? Who's related to someone who's powerful? Let's start a mutiny. Let's start a gang. Even though, like, people want to act like I'm a wannabe gangbanger, or maybe they think I really am a gangbanger. I'm not. You hear this juggalo shit, it's a community. That's all it is, for the most part. Gang members were hippies. Just because you say the word hippie, you're not thinking gang member. Hell's Angels were spawned. How many ex hippies were bike? So yeah, in every subculture, there probably is some gang members. There probably are people that you really don't want to promote, don't want to align with. But no, I'm not out there committing crimes. Like, I'm a pretty boring person. For me to be able, even though I'm not on here 12 hours a day, for me to be able to take time out of my day to record these thoughts, Very rarely am I getting on here and trying to put on like a production. I'm sorry for people that might fucking watch my shit. It's really boring. For the most part, my life is pretty boring, which I kind of like that because I have a panic disorder. My mom has a panic disorder, which is much worse than mine. That's not putting her down. That's just dealing with it. It's tough. It's really tough because I care. So when I see someone that I care about struggle, when I see someone I care about get lied to by so many fucking people, when I hear people act like they care, but they don't, yeah, I could act any way I want. Tomorrow, I could start dipping snuff and wearing camo and talking like this. We can all act anyway. For me to open myself up and just basically let anybody know what the fuck I'm thinking, what the fuck I'm feeling, I'm making myself look retarded. I'm making myself look like a paranoid nutcase, which kind of, it's kind of, but there are reasons I feel this way. There are major reasons why I feel this way. And like the strikeout policy that I spoke about a day or two ago, the people in charge of my life, they're not exempt from my strikeout policy. I've honestly like thought about like I've tried contacting the Ohio ACLU without a court case already in, it's already, it's tough to get representation. It's tough to talk to people. I've had more luck dealing with the Kentucky chapter of the ACLU. I had more of a response and more communication with Kentucky's chapter of the ACLU than I have Ohio. So you know, I do some shit behind the curtain that some people might not be aware of. Where's my do? I gotta do the do. That mic's kind of wow. Like I'm stepping away and saying that goofy shit. I like this on Streamlabs how it's always on. If they could just take a few things from this or take a few things from StreamYard, like kind of combine them, that would be dope. That would be dope. But yeah, I have contacted people for various reasons. The reason was for me contacting the ACLU of Kentucky is because I was going to a methadone clinic and I got really bad on oxys. Not so much on heroin, but oxys are pretty much pharmaceutical grade heroin. Um, it was going through this like weird phase of like when they were basically trying to kick me out because my brother starting went to the same clinic. This is my brother pulled that shit with inheritance and just like skipped and not only skipped out but just manipulated my mom into letting him stay there for it was supposed to be for a short amount of time. Just get your shit right to where, but the squatter mentality. I saw it coming a mile away. I saw it coming a mile away. But him being my mom's son, a mother's love knows no bounds. He did what he did, and it took a lot to resolve that issue. Hello. So I saw it coming a mile away, though. What's up? If this is Warlord or Ninja or possibly Lucifer, you know, want to express my love. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking in. If this is Warlord, I told Ninja this yesterday. Ninja with a pencil. It's a funny name. It's pretty cool. Uh, I might do some like Fago reviews. So I got like fucking 10 flavors. Just kind of, it's an acquired taste. My favorite is vanilla cream soda and the root beer. The root beer is really good. The root beer tastes like Stewart's or Bart's or something. So if it's not Warlord, if it's not Ninja, if it's not Lucifer, Randall, if it's one of you people that fucking wish death upon my mom, you know how I feel about you. And you're wasting your goddamn time for I don't even know why the fuck you're in here. But if it's anyone else, it's just someone that possibly just randomly stopped by, you know, I wish you well. Stay blessed. But yeah, so a community like mine, like my real life community, like my neighbors and people that I have to deal with because of they have government jobs, this or that. I've already explained this. If you want to go back and watch what I've been saying, if it's someone that's trying to like put their target on me because it's easy, what's going to happen to the next person? Do we really want to build a community where it's just like, oh, we go to the same church, we don't like that person, so we're going to strong arm them out of here, and if they stay here, we're just going to make their life hell. But we'll tell other people that we're praying for them, so we can look good to other people. I'm fighting for the next person in line because we ain't going to be around here much longer, or we're not going to be in this house much longer. Might even fucking like get a house in the neighborhood. Like, you know, there's lots of people going through lots of shit. Some people have to sell their property because they're about to lose it for taxes. That happens all the time. That happened to us recently. So a lot of what I say it because I know it, and I know it from experience. You know, when I got slipped crystal meth because I thought I was taking dab hits, I just trusted the person that, I completely flip out. I ended up hurting myself. I didn't hurt anybody else. I don't want to hurt people. But it just seems like, that night EMS comes down here. And I remember what that guy said. I remember. Y'all, you need to lock him up. He's batshit fucking crazy. Talking about me like I'm a fucking animal. But yet it was cool for him to talk about one of his family members who was handicapped like a fucking animal. I think I used the word barbecue grill. That's basically how he was talking about him. Like, oh, we just wheel him in, wheel him out. They take care of him for 12 hours and we get $2,500 a month. How would I know these figures? How would I know these figures if that discussion wasn't, that discussion didn't happen? How would I know? How the fuck would I know? Like, do people think about that? You know, like, do people think about that? Like, how does he know this fucking pretty much confidential information? You know, like my mom's handicapped. My mom's in a wheelchair. Like, if people can't tell, you know, when I'm paraphrasing or I'm possibly like saying outlandish things because I'm trying to think of what's going on in these sick people's heads that just talk about people like they're animals. Uh, okay, so whoever might see this, whoever may not see this, I'm gonna say this for the record. I have said some fucked up shit, like in type on Facebook, kind of grab people's attention, but like it technically wasn't me saying these things because I was saying it like I was like I was quoting someone. Like I was basically quoting thoughts people might have, might being the operative word. Maybe I'm wrong, but for me to get my point across and for people to kind of like, you know, I'll say polarizing things, kind of grab people's attention. Um, so my adopted niece, I think it's what she is to me. Uh, my uncle Terry's adopted daughter. Okay, if I'm a dope addict, recovering dope addict, and I'm saying something like, "Oh, let's just get a dope baby to fucking adopt, so we can get some money." That's me kind of like analyzing the situation and being like, you know, they don't seem to really care for that kid. It's just a paycheck to them. And then I use the phrase like, what are they thinking? Are they thinking, oh, let's just get a dope baby so we can get some money? Because there are lots of addicted children that are taken away from their parents because they have drugs in their system. So I don't, you know, it's not like I look down on kids that go through that because they're innocent. They didn't have any say in that. Their parents were such pieces of shit that they kept on doing dope. And it happens a lot. Not only does it happen a lot, it is promoted. It's promoted where I live. Like, you know, a parent goes to methadone clinic. They're like, oh, you can't quit using methadone because, like, it's going, you know. But if you quit taking methadone, it'll fuck with the kid. If you keep on taking methadone, it'll fuck with the kid. I don't know if anyone's aware of what's that shit called? Naloxone? No, it's not. God damn it. When you get out of the dope game, it's like kind of hard to keep track of all this fucking weird Vivitrol. Vivitrol. It's like it's a shot that basically blocks pain receptors in your shit. And, maybe it's coincidence, but I know of a few mothers who gave birth to children with a cleft palate. It's sad. It's really sad. Because these clinics, these doctors, they're making bank. They're making fucking bank for destroying families. Like they try to act like they're saving families, but yo, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of fucking work to get off drugs. It takes a lot of work. And the only benefit of like being addicted to something that's legal, quote unquote legal, the only benefit is that it's legal. You know, the substances that they try to get you off street drugs with, like sometimes are more damaging than actually like oxys and heroin. Uh, Oxy is one of those medications that you know, it might be legal for some, but you know most of the people abusing OxyContin aren't doing it legally. And it takes a lot of money to be able to hire a doctor that would put their name to have to fucking be investigated or what have you by the DEA. Like, you know, you're gonna have to pay a lot of fucking money. Where's my fucking pop? Whatever. So yeah, um, to explain, like when I made that one comment, it pissed some people off. I'm sure it did. That was part of my intent. I myself was almost trying to put pressure to basically start a dialogue, like piss someone off to the point where, which they did, they brought family into it too, you know, and like, you know, how dare he, and yeah, well, how dare I, well, how dare you, like, you know, that kid needs more help than what you can do. Ain't the kid's fault. I may have used the wrong words, but at the same time, I do not have those feelings. So I'd be a huge hypocrite if I did, because I've got my own problems. I've tried to make things better. You know, just like with life, they'll get better a little bit, but then you know you're gonna run into a you're gonna run into a curve on the road. You're gonna run into a fork on the road. And it's just like sometimes these things are out of our control. As far as people with cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, not exactly sure uh, what was up with that one dude. But, you know, when I make a comment about, like, oh, you know, we just wheel him in and wheel him out like a barbecue grill and get 2,500 bucks, you know, people want to focus in on when I'm saying, oh, we just wheel him in, wheel him out like a barbecue grill. They're not taking into the matter that I put that figure up. How would I know how much money they get a month? When I'm talking to this dude, he's saying these figures, and it's not like, you know, I'm foaming at the mouth for 2,500 bucks, because, you know, I could go get a job and make about that, you know, make that same amount of money, about, you know, maybe more, maybe less. Whatever the case is, it's not money that's going to make someone froth at the mouth, foam at the mouth, like, but it is money that could help, because that's the society we live in. It takes money. You know, we can't live off the grid. We can't just go hunt down squirrel. You know, it's not how America is. It's not how a lot of countries are. You need money. So I'm talking to this person. I'm like, yo, can you like come talk with me and mom? Oh yeah, sure, sure. And just the same numerous times, just stumbling over wanting to smoke free weed. And it kind of pissed me off. It pissed me off when his wife's calling. He's like, "What the fuck you doing over there?" And he didn't take up for me. It pissed me off when everyone's like watching me get arrested, knowing the situation about my mom in the nursing home at that time, and just it's almost like I'm going through enough mentally. I didn't need all that. I didn't need all that. And then like having this dude's number memorized, and I'm frantically calling, like, dude, come bail me out. Like, you'll get your money. Like, you see where we live. Like, you'll get your money. Hook a honky up. And then to just be ignored. Because, okay, if they explain to me they can't make bail, whatever, okay, well, it's my first time in jail. I was there for reasons I shouldn't have been there. I don't feel. Maybe I'm wrong with that. But at the same time, for people to show alliance, like if they're gonna, like, oh, you're my buddy now, but it could have just been taught, maybe it could have been something like just talking me through it. Like, you're just gonna have to handle this. We'll check on your mom. We'll check on the dogs. It'll be all right. Just get through this. If you truly didn't do anything, the case will be dismissed, which is what happened. Uh, I needed someone to talk to in that moment. And that was like one of the few numbers that I could have called. I can't call certain family members in that situation because I yelled at my uncle. So, I can't call fam because, it looks bad. My mom's in the nursing home. So I can call her and I can let her know what happened, but I can't get help from her. She's the one that needs help right now. So, it could have helped out a lot just to talk to me for a few minutes. Could have paid back that phone call. Like, you know, they're all outside watching me get arrested. Kind of like, get your popcorn. And, see? Not that I'm a harm to myself, but, it's kind of, this has been proven in the past. If I am a harm to anybody, I'm more of a harm to myself than I am other people. Because, like, when it comes down to it, a lot of this shit is my fault. Yeah. By that, I mean, instead of, like, kind of showing a little bit of empathy for someone struggling with whatever the fuck they were struggling with, because you don't get that fucked up unless you got some demons. I know that from experience. I know that from experience. Just because we're on different substances, like, oh, yeah, oh, he was just drinking. It's legal, so that makes it all right. Alcohol is one of the most damaging substances on the planet. It can help. You can just drink. You have a drink or two. It's probably not going to end up in a bad situation. But if you're drinking like a case of beer in a night, or a bottle of liquor, it's damaging. I'd like to hear from anyone that says like alcohol is healthy. I don't think it is. It might be healthy to have a drink or two a night, yeah. But when you're getting so fucked up to the point you're stumbling, and I've gotten that fucked up, I think a lot of us have gotten that fucked up. It's not good. So, and I realize this, and I see someone struggling, instead of like, get the fuck out of here. Like, hey, come in here, like, you need to talk about something. Like, what's up? Hit this joint. Calm down, dog. So I could have ended it there. It's like I was fucking drunk buffoon. Like I could have called the cops. Like, hey, I got this drunk buffoon that's uninvited that keeps on like, that same person to talk about me to one of the most high-ranking police officers in my area, talking about, and you know, their friends talking about me like I'm a fucking animal. Like, oh, he needs locked up. I remember that. I remember that. I remember the officer actually taking up for me too. It's like, you know, he's dealing with some shit now. He's got to go get medical attention. We can't just lock him up just because you want him locked up. You know, he's got to do something to warrant him being locked up. He hadn't done anything like that. It's I can live with it, but can't. Am I gonna forgive it? No. It's gonna take a lot for me to get over that. I can apologize for some of the shit I've done, but you know, just if I'm, you know, if I'm going to apologize for some of the shit I've done, then some other people need to apologize for some things too. Because I've never went on anyone's property, and the motive being that I'm going to threaten them. I'm going to pound on their, you know, I've never done that. I'm not going to say I'm the perfect neighbor, but who is the perfect neighbor? So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I act the way I act, why I am the way I am, why I'm a little bit skeptical, possibly paranoid of some of the people I live around. It's because I've been threatened a lot by the people I live around. And if I'm going to act a certain way, like, oh, you say this shit about me, I'll beat you up or whatever. Okay, that doesn't do good for me. That doesn't do good for my mom. That doesn't do good for my pets. And like when I'm like kind of breaking this down all like this, like I don't understand why people think I'm like so fucking nuts. Like I really do I really do take in I really do think about like how people feel in their home. That should be your safe haven. You shouldn't have to worry about fucking meth heads uh, chopping holes in your privacy fence just because like they're related to some people in the court. You shouldn't have to worry about fucking meth heads threatening me, saying, "Oh, they're gonna find your body chopped up in pieces, floating down the Ohio River." Trying to break the window on my car. And I hear weird noises in my backyard. That is evident someone was trying to hop over the fence, trying to make an anonymous call at first, but you know, instead of just taking a fucking anonymous tip about trespassing, breaking and entering, methamphetamine use. Like, oh, well, you're gonna have to tell us who. Okay, well, yeah, I ain't doing nothing wrong, and like, really, I'm trying to look out for everyone, not just me. Okay, well, here's who I am. Here's where I live. I'm talking about them. All right, so to know all the measures that I took to try not only to look out for myself, but to look out for surrounding members of this neighborhood, and to just almost be laughed at, to almost like, yeah, he's just upset about something. Yeah, goddamn right, I'm upset about shit. But I took the correct measures. One should take, like, and then to still be a victim of assault. And during that assault, to have a court official witnessing it and almost, in my eyes, hey, it's just my opinion, I felt that she had multiple opportunities to at least, maybe the cops couldn't get here in time before he did what he did. And I probably wouldn't have pressed charges. But, if it's just me and him, I know it's just me and him. When it's a court official and I know I got to go to court for some shit, and I'm thinking, like, I don't want the judge, I don't want anybody thinking, like, I'm this knucklehead that's just doing this stupid shit. I'm kind of defenseless. Because if I engage in the fight, said court official could be like, oh, well, it's mutual combat. It's mutual combat because I'm saying it's mutual combat. You know, I do try to think of things like I think ahead with things. Like I really do. Just for me to be able to do those like two fucking like to his armpit. And, you gonna call him, or do I have to engage in self defense? Like I stunned him that short amount of time. I stunned him long enough for me to be able to look at that lady and like, well, what's going on here? Like, do you just want to make friends with people so they can have you on the horn, fucking like, speed dial, like, oh, this dog's here, come get it, to make it look like you're doing a better job when you're really having other people do your job. But like when there is a real issue of aggressive pit bulls pinning in people on their porch and shit, but oh, it's my fault because I did something to the dogs. Even though these goddamn dogs scare me to the point I don't want I want to get anywhere near him. Why would I? Why the fuck would I? One of my best friends has a pit bull. It's a very sweet dog. It's not like I'm against all pit bulls. It comes down to the owner. And when the owner keeps them in a fucking pretty small apartment, and you can see smoke coming out of there, and I'm pretty sure the dude don't smoke weed, pretty sure that he doesn't smoke cigarettes, pretty sure there's not a fire in there. So it's just it's not right. It's not right. But if they're related to people in the court, I guess it makes it all right. So there are reasons why uh, I might come off a little paranoid. For anybody that wasn't here during that time, just because like someone might be friendly with someone, I'm not gonna hate on that. Live and let live. But someone ain't gonna tell me like, oh, they're good people. They're good people. Well, yeah, most of the people in that house might be good people, but I've had experiences with one specific individual, and I can't say that he's a good person. That may sound kind of crass, but hey, when you hear someone talking about someone who's handicapped as if they are a barbecue grill, and that's when you're dealing with someone that caged your cat because I guess it was running around the neighborhood and getting in some trash cans. And then that cat ends up like you never get it back. Like Yeah, Bunkster was the cat's name. If my dad was alive, he could actually, you know, my mom probably ain't gonna get on camera, but my mom can even talk about Bunkster. Like, what happened to Bunkster? I know he got caged up by a neighbor. My dad got him out, but the cages were still there. I talked to the game wardens around here, and they're like, "You can't have traps in town like that." It's like, well, I don't have them. My neighbor has them, and my cat came up missing, and like I'm thinking that that there are reasons why I feel the way I feel. There are reasons why I have these thoughts. I'm not completely delusional. I'm not completely paranoid. And there are reasons why I have these doubts. There are reasons why I have these doubts. You try to call and get help, and you just kind of get laughed at by the police department. Uh, I kind of have to train myself to have this mind frame of nobody's gonna help, so I gotta fend for myself. But as pissed off as I get, you know, if I feel these ways and I just don't trust certain people, at least I don't go threaten violence. I don't go and fucking pound on someone's door unless I might need some help. If I'm in a frantic situation, I need help with my mom or something. I have gone on, basically the extent of me going on other people's property. There's this one day when I thought I was friends with this dude, but I guess that was only at nighttime when he was drunk, stumbling around the neighborhood. He didn't want anything to do with me in daylight. I'm just like trying to, hey, we got this refrigerator. Just, talking about how our fridge broke and just kind of sharing, like, just kind of sharing, like, what's going on. So I thought we were friends. Then it's like he's acting like, why the fuck are you coming up and talking to me, you fucking peasant? So that's kind of why I'm a little, what's the word? I feel burnt, like burnt as in pain, not burnt as in dumbass hippie. I feel burnt by this shit because, like, I thought I made a friend. Friends should be able to talk to other friends during the daylight. So at least people know where I stand. Like, I don't try to fuck with people's heads. Like, oh, you're my friend when, I can sneak up here and smoke your weed and not have my wife know about it. And, you know, if she asks, like, where I got so fucked up, I can put your name out there to throw you under the bus to make her hate you. I don't mind at all to talk about this with people off camera. But it's getting to the point where I feel my safety is questionable. So I don't know if I can do this shit off camera. Like, people want to come and discuss certain things, it's probably going to be on camera. Now I can make the video private, but if something happens, I'm gonna kind of need to have the camera rolling for people that I have doubts about. If you want to put a camera on me, well, goddamn, like I really don't give a fuck. I'm putting myself on camera. So I don't know. Just to summarize, I have said some things, and I'll continue to say things. I'll continue to use this platform to try to basically have my own fucking counseling session with myself, just to regurgitate thoughts that rattle in my mind. But this is the worst I'll do. If I'm not using people's names, if I'm not using addresses, how the fuck is anyone gonna even know what the fuck I'm talking about? I may say some names, but like, Mike W. Carey, like you can look up his criminal history. That's black and white. That's shit I've dealt with. That's shit that is undeniable. Now, for things that are kind of more like open ended, so to speak, like there's nothing verified with the courts and shit, like I'm not going to use names. I'm not going to use addresses because that could possibly be defamation of character and shit. Like, but for shit that there's court records and police reports about, yeah, I might use names on that just so people can verify that I'm not full of shit. So yeah, I don't really use names and addresses on here. People I respect, I don't really talk like that. Uh, if I am upset about certain things, like, can rest assured, people, like, this is the worst I'll do. Where a lot of people have more people in their lives where I live, it's real easy just to be like, yeah, that dude's fucking whacked out. People do it all the time. But when I have shit in black and white and they try to do that shit, uh, like, Debbie and Mike Carey, it's kind of hard to deny that because I'm not a computer hacker. You know, I didn't make profiles just so I have something to talk about. Uh, Said profiles existed like forever, for however long it. But yeah, I'm not dumb enough to like threaten people. I'm not dumb enough to like not only threaten, but I'm not dumb enough to like actually engage in violence. This is the worst that I'll do is trying to think things out, just trying to make sense of this crazy world we're in right now. Uh, it sucks. It sucks really to think you have friends. Said friends won't acknowledge you in the daylight. They want to act like you're an enemy to put on a show for their wife. And I guess none of that was true. It's just to get over the fact that there's this missing cat, and there is the factor of our cat was caged in their yard. Never got the cat back. We did that one day because my dad went in their yard and got the cat back. So if people want to know why I'm a little bit paranoid about shit, that's why. You can say I'm full of shit. My dad can't talk because he's dead, but my mom's still alive and she remembers that. she thinks some weird shit's going on too. She's riddled by stress. She's too paranoid for her own good right now. It can say like, well, if you just do what you need to do, then you don't have to worry about people. Yeah, no. Almost died in 2017. Had a very serious injury. I couldn't even fucking hold a can of pop for months. So I myself wasn't cutting the grass for a couple few months. Had someone else coming down here to do it, but still have neighbors call the health department. Health department comes down here and they're like, "What the fuck are we doing here?" So it's not like people want to fucking like help. They want to fucking pounce on you when they can be like, see, they're not living how I think they should live. It's fucking bullshit. So I'm an easy target, but who's gonna be here next? You know, you're gonna treat them the way I treat the way I got treated. So, you know, I'll warn people. I will warn people about like, hey, you might not want to say you're a Democrat in these neck of the woods. You'll get baby shoes turned in your yard. You'll have people. You know, this abortion shit. You know, it's more of a women's rights issue. Do I fully agree with abortion? Not really. Excuse me. But it's like if you're gonna be pro-life and all this shit, like abortion's wrong, abortion's wrong. I mean, kind of, I do think abortion's wrong. You know, there's bitches that use abortion as a form of birth control. That's not the standard, but it happens. But if you're gonna cry about like, oh, abortion's wrong, care for the kid. You know, don't just cry about that shit when it's a political issue and it's kind of a weird topic. Not only care for the kid when it's a fetus, care for the kid when it's a child. Yeah, what's up? Uh, it says 0 viewers. Now there's the one. Okay. Um, so like, yeah, I told you about this. Like, I do a lot of this now. It's because I did some shit on Facebook and people want to bitch and complain. Like, why don't you let people like talk? You know, well, I can't do that so much on this. I can do that on StreamYard though. As far as like actually having stuff where it isn't just me bitching about life, I think I'm gonna do like kind of like a series on Fago. Like I'm gonna do like Fago flavor reactions and shit. I'll probably like get in character a little bit. Like I'm not gonna act like myself. I'm just gonna kind of play up for the camera. But I think I'm gonna do that sometime soon. I'm gonna do like a Fago taste testing series. I'm doing all right, man. Just some weird shit going on. It's hard to get help from the police. I've had issues with the police department in my town. Look up Jack Vulgaris if you're interested. Maybe you can understand some of my doubts with the police department here. It was a case that got on America's Most Wanted. Happened in 1997. So I was 14, 15 years old at this time. I'll just bring this up. Now I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna. If you give me 1 second, I'll type the name so you can just copy and paste it if you want. I'm not really demanding people do anything, but I'm doing all right. How you doing? I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna type the name just in case you're not wrong about. Oh yeah, um, just throughout America, it's very volatile right now. It's kind of sad. Turn that down so no feedback. All right. So if you're interested, I'm about to hop off here. I'm sorry sometimes, but I've been on here for hour 21 minutes now, so it's not like I really choose to. I would message you, I'll message you when I do that Fago shit, like when it's actually just happy-go-lucky fun stuff. I will message you like, hey, I'm gonna go live. It's actually something you might want to check out. But as far as this shit, it's just basically me ranting in case like something happens. There's like a trail of, I did try to express my concerns. So I'm gonna type this name. I think I'm spelling it right. I'm gonna check. You can look up his case. It was on America's Most Wanted. Yeah, I know. I've seen that. It's I don't. If I talk about it too much, I'll fucking break my computer or fall out in tears. I really can't. I, I can't even. I can't even go. I can't even comprehend. Like I'll just let it be at that. I cannot even comprehend. It's, I'm a victim myself. My innocence was stolen when I was about 8 years old by my brother. So that's part of the reason why I just can't. Okay, I misspelled that. Instead of an I, it would be an E. But yeah, that's the first thing that comes up on a Google search. This shit'll probably make you cry. So with that being said, uh, fair warning. But I'm gonna come back in here and I'm gonna type it the way it really is. I messed up the I. It should be an E. I thought Tony Two Dope was cool, but uh, yeah, I saw it. Um, that isn't even the first time something like that's been brought up, right? Because like I used to troll in Jamie's chat. I would wait for people to like porn bomb the chat. Excuse me, and I would timestamp it. I just thought it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna fucking I'm not gonna go do that to anyone, but hey, if I see it and I think it's funny, I'll put a little. I went through CPN's chat. One of his chats randomly came up in my feed, and he was talking something about like if I want to see a CD, then just put the CD on and put a video up. And I said something like, "Oh, CPN predicted the 20th anniversary Freak Show concert." That's pretty much all they did. They just dressed up and went and. I would have been pissed if I paid for that. I would have been pissed. But anyway, I'm gonna type Jack Walgaris's name the way it should be spelled, just in case you want to copy and paste this and possibly know about some things where I live. There. That's how it should be spelled. I put an I instead of an E. Damn it! I missed the G. Sorry. There. Damn it. I suck at thumb typing. I'm really good at like keyboard. I don't know, man. Uh, I feel weird talking about any of this because, like, yeah, we're talking about something, but at the same time, like, there are victims. And that's why it's like real fucked up. Is like sometimes people lose sight of, like, oh, this person's evil, this person's evil. And they lose sight about the victim. It's kind of similar to me with this assault shit and this meth head neighbor of mine. It's like he bailed out, right? Supposedly he bailed out. Whatever the case is, he got out in an hour. And I yell at my uncle and I spend 3 days. Doesn't make sense. But like the court gets that money for bailing out, right? Well, what about my pain and suffering? Like what the bail money I feel should have went to me. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. So it's just like with any of this shit, and I'm not saying this to you. I'm just saying this to anyone that might hear it. Yeah, this is evil shit. These are demons. Um, but also take into account that there are victims, and that's why I can't talk about it too much because like I'm already kind of like I can't talk about it, dude. It really hurts me to know that people are at evil, and I gotta go, man. I'm sorry. Thank you for thank you for stopping by, but I just can't even think about this shit. It's bringing up memories.